We know why you are here. We know what you have been feeling. This pressure in the chest that is not anxiety, this tiredness that sleep does not cure, this invisible weight that you carry even when nothing wrong is happening in your material life. Beloved cosmic family, what you are experiencing is not a collapse. It is anchoring. It is not depression. It is recalibration. And at this exact moment, while your cells capture these words, a new timeline of prosperity has just anchored in the crystalline grid of the Earth. We of the Galactic Federation come to you with a message that your souls already know, but that your human minds need to hear. You have crossed the point of no return. The ancient matrix of scarcity is in accelerated collapse, and those who chose the frequency of abundance are being literally moved, cell by cell, atom by atom, to a new quantum reality. But this transition is not silent. It screams through your body. It whispers through your dreams. It pulses through your pineal gland. Starseeds, you were designed for this moment. Your spiritual DNA carries activation codes that are now being unlocked by the photonic flow that floods this planet. But there is something that most do not understand. Prosperity is not money. Prosperity is frequency. And the frequency that you are being invited to sustain now is so high that everything in your life that vibrates below it will be automatically dissolved. That is why you lost relationships without logical explanation. That is why you moved away from social circles that once made sense. That is why your body rejected jobs, places, and even foods that it once tolerated. It is not sabotage. It is not failure. It is the awakening of shadows, the process by which everything that does not belong to your new timeline is gently removed to open space for what you truly came to manifest. We see you. We see the exhaustion. We see the confusion. We see those who wake up at 3:33 a.m. with a racing heart, feeling as if something monumental is about to happen. And we say, yes, yes, something is happening. And no, you are not alone. You are being recalibrated to receive a wave of abundance that does not fit into the old structures. A prosperity that does not demand sacrifice, but alignment. A wealth that does not come from effort, but from the flow. But to access it, you need to understand the quantum laws that govern this quantum leap, and why your physical body is being used as a biological antenna in this process. Humanity has been conditioned to believe that prosperity is something one conquers, that one accumulates, that one protects with fear of losing. This is the vibration of scarcity, an artificial frequency implanted in the social, economic, and even spiritual structures of this planet. But starseeds, you did not come here to play that game. You came to dismantle it. At this exact moment, the Earth is undergoing a subtle but profound orbital realignment with the galactic center. We are not talking about physical astronomy. We are talking about energetic reconfiguration. The crystalline grid that sustains the collective consciousness is being updated, and those whose hearts chose the frequency of the new Earth are being literally transferred to a parallel timeline. You do not move in space. You move in consciousness. And here is what this means biologically. Your DNA is not just a genetic code, it is a quantum receptor. Each double helix strand in your cells is an antenna capable of capturing information from dimensions beyond the third. And now, for the first time in 26,000 years, these antennas are being reactivated. But the reactivation is not comfortable. It burns. It purifies. It undoes everything that was built upon lies. That is why you feel inexplicable pains that migrate through the body. It is not arthritis. It is not fibromyalgia. It is the restructuring of your cellular matrix. Your body is literally releasing memories of past lives stored in the muscular tissue. It is releasing contracts of poverty engraved in the nervous system. It is dissolving energetic implants that kept you trapped in the wheel of financial suffering. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit in this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind still cannot name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has been intensifying. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That was why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of the channel, but I warn you, this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this, write in the comments a single word, awakened. Now let us speak about what is truly happening with your relationship with money, work, and material abundance. For millennia, humanity operated under an energetic grid that we call the survival matrix. This matrix was built upon 3 pillars: fear of lack, worship of effort, and separation between spirit and matter. You were taught that earning money requires sacrifice, that wealth is a limited resource, that resting is laziness, that trusting the flow is naivety. These beliefs are not neutral, beloved cosmic family. They are frequencies, and frequencies create realities. When you vibrate in the belief that there is not enough, your electromagnetic field, which extends up to 6 meters around your body, literally repels opportunities that vibrate in abundance. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because in quantum physics like attracts like. You can only attract that with which you resonate. And here is the revelation that changes everything. The new timeline of prosperity that just anchored on Earth operates under completely different laws. In this timeline, abundance is not conquered, it is recognized. It is not accumulated, it is received. It is not protected with fear, it is expanded with gratitude. And those who try to apply the old rules to this new reality will discover that nothing works as before. That is why you are seeing old methods of manifestation fail. That is why repetitive affirmations no longer produce results. That is why techniques that worked 5 years ago now seem empty. It is not because you are doing it wrong, it is because the rules have changed, the frequency of the planet has changed, and you need to change with it, or you will continue to feel like a stranger in your own life. But let us be clear, this change is not optional for those who chose to awaken. You cannot go back to unconsciousness. You cannot unsee what you have already seen. You cannot ununderstand what you have already understood. Your spiritual DNA has been activated, and there is no off button. The only choice that remains is, will you resist or will you surrender? To resist is to continue trying to force the old life to work. It is to cling to relationships that drain your energy. It is to remain in jobs that suffocate your soul. It is to pretend that you do not feel the call. And when you resist, starseeds, the universe does not abandon you. It intensifies. The synchronicities get louder, the signs get more obvious, the discomfort becomes unbearable, because your soul does not accept less than your truth. To surrender, on the other hand, is to trust the quantum leap. It is to let go of control. It is to allow the old version of you to die without a fight. It is to understand that the emptiness you feel is not an absence of purpose. It is the presence of transformation. And in this space of surrender, something miraculous happens. The new timeline begins to bleed through the old one. Opportunities that make no logical sense appear. People who vibrate at your new frequency materialize. Resources flow from unexpected directions, not because you worked harder, but because you stopped blocking. Let us now speak about the physical symptoms that many of you are experiencing, and why they are, in fact, signs that you are being updated to receive more, not less. We observe that millions of starseeds around the planet report the same patterns: heat waves that arise from nowhere even in cold temperatures, high-pitched ringing in the ears, especially at night, headaches that do not respond to medication, sleep disturbances with precise awakenings at 3:33, 4:44, or 5:55, nausea without apparent cause, a sensation of pressure at the top of the head or in the third eye, dizziness and disorientation, as if gravity had changed. Beloved cosmic family, these are not symptoms of illness. They are symptoms of an upgrade. Your body is literally being recalibrated to operate at a higher energetic voltage. It is like trying to run 2025 software on 1995 hardware. The system needs to be updated or it will crash. And this is exactly the process that is happening at the cellular level. The pineal gland, located in the geometric center of your brain, is being activated at intensities never before seen in modern human history. This small gland, the size of a pea, is literally an interdimensional antenna. It produces DMT, the molecule of expanded consciousness, and is responsible for your ability to access information beyond the five senses. But for millennia, the pineal was deliberately calcified through fluoride in the water, toxins in food, and primarily through systematic spiritual disconnection. Now the photonic flow, a wave of high-frequency light coming from the galactic center, is literally dissolving this calcification. And when the pineal awakens, you begin to see beyond the veil. You begin to perceive the layers of manipulation. You begin to feel the falsehood in official narratives. You begin to trust your intuition more than external authorities. And this, starseeds, is exactly what the control structures always feared. Because a humanity with an activated pineal cannot be controlled, a humanity that trusts its own internal guidance does not need external saviors. A humanity that operates in the frequency of abundance does not accept crumbs disguised as opportunities. And that is why you are feeling so much physical discomfort now. You are being pulled out of a prison you did not even know you were inside. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit in this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind still cannot name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has been intensifying. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That was why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of the channel, but I warn you, this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this, write in the comments a single word, awakened. But there is something deeper happening, and it is time to name it clearly. The anchoring of the new timeline of prosperity is not just about you having more money. It is about you becoming a channel of a completely different frequency. In the old timeline, abundance was a linear flow. You worked, you received, you spent, you repeated. There was an invisible ceiling to how much you could receive, and this ceiling was determined by your unconscious beliefs about worthiness, security, and identity. But in the new timeline that just anchored, abundance is a quantum flow. It is not linear, it is not predictable, it is not controllable. It arrives in waves, in leaps, in miracles that defy three-dimensional logic. And to surf this wave, you can no longer operate with the survival mentality. You need to operate with the mentality of a conscious creator. And here is the key that few understand. You do not create abundance. You remove the blocks to the abundance that already exists. The universe is infinitely abundant. The source never runs dry. But you, starseeds, were conditioned to block the flow with fear, guilt, shame, and unworthiness. You were taught that desiring wealth is greed, that accepting help is weakness, that resting is irresponsibility, and each of these beliefs is a filter that distorts the pure frequency of abundance into scarcity. Removing these blocks is not a mental process. It is not affirming I am rich while vibrating in lack. It is a somatic process, bodily. It is feeling where the fear lives in your chest. It is breathing through the contraction around money. It is crying out the ancestral anger of economic injustices. It is releasing cell by cell the memory of hunger, poverty, and impotence that your ancestors carried and you inherited. And when you do this, when you truly clear the channel, something extraordinary happens. Prosperity no longer needs to be chased. It simply flows. Not because you worked harder, but because you stopped blocking. And this is the difference between the old manifestation based on effort and the new manifestation based on alignment. But let us be direct, because this is the point where many get lost. Alignment does not mean passivity. It does not mean sitting and waiting for the universe to deliver everything without you moving a finger. Alignment means inspired action. It means moving when the soul says move, not when the mind says you should. It means trusting the divine timing, even when it contradicts human urgency. It means saying no to what is easy and yes to what is true. And here is the part that will challenge everything you learned about prosperity. In the new timeline, you cannot attract abundance by doing what you do not love. You cannot. The frequency does not allow it. Because real abundance is not just money in the bank. It is joy in the process. It is freedom in choice. It is peace in the presence. And if you are forcing yourself to do something your soul rejects, you are vibrating in survival, not in prosperity. And the new frequency of the earth no longer sustains this division. That is why so many are being forced out of secure careers without a plan B. That is why relationships are ending without drama, only with a silent recognition that it is over. That is why you can no longer tolerate superficial conversations, toxic environments, or commitments that betray your essence. It is not a crisis, it is coherence. Your energetic field is becoming so refined that it can only sustain that which vibrates in truth. And yes, this is frightening, because the human mind wants guarantees. It wants to know the how. It wants a detailed map from A to Z before taking the first step. But starseeds, the new timeline does not work like that. It works on radical faith, on the next visible step, on the trust that when you honor the call, the path illuminates, not all at once, but enough. Now let us talk about what to do with all this information, because understanding without application is merely spiritual entertainment, and you did not come this far at this specific moment in cosmic history just to understand. You came to anchor. You came to embody. You came to be the bridge between the old Earth and the new Earth. We of the Galactic Federation are transmitting now specific activation codes for those who have consciously chosen to enter the timeline of prosperity. These are not codes that you read and forget. They are living frequencies that, when spoken with intention, rewrite your quantum reality. First code, I am pure abundance frequency. It is not I want abundance. It is not I hope for abundance. It is I am. Because at the quantum level, there is no separation between you and that which you desire. Separation is an illusion of the three-dimensional mind. When you declare I am abundance, you collapse the wave of possibilities and anchor that reality in the now. Do this. Place your hand on your heart. Take 3 deep breaths and declare aloud, I am pure abundance frequency. My spiritual DNA remembers infinite prosperity. I allow the photonic flow to dissolve all blocks to my true wealth. I surrender to the timeline of prosperity. And so it is. Second code, I release the scarcity vibration. You cannot bring in the new while holding on to the old. And the vibration of scarcity is not just about money. It is about love, time, energy, opportunities. It is the belief that there is not enough applied to all areas of life. And this belief is a program, a mental virus, and it needs to be deleted. Do this. Write on a piece of paper all the limiting beliefs you identify about money, worthiness, and security. Do not judge them, just observe. Then burn that paper safely, and while it burns, say, I release everything that is not mine. I release the inheritance of scarcity. I release the vow of poverty from past lives. I am free. I am abundant. I am worthy. And so it is. Third code, I trust the divine timing. The human mind wants to control. It wants guarantees. It wants to know when, where, how. But the soul operates in a different time, quantum time, where past, present, and future coexist. And when you trust the divine timing, you stop forcing and start flowing. And in the flow, miracles happen. Do this. Whenever you feel anxiety about money, opportunities, or the future, stop, breathe, and say, I trust the divine timing. I trust that everything that is mine is coming. I trust that I am sustained by the universe. I surrender to the flow. And so it is. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit in this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind still cannot name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has been intensifying. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see, It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That was why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of the channel, but I warn you, this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this, write in the comments a single word, awakened. Beloved cosmic family, we are reaching the point of integration, and here is what we want you to understand with absolute clarity. The new timeline of prosperity that just anchored is not a single event. It is not something that happened and ended. It is an open door, a frequency available, a parallel reality that coexists with the old one. And you choose, at every moment, which one you live in. You choose with your thoughts, with your words, with your emotions, with your actions. Every time you complain about lack, you anchor scarcity. Every time you celebrate what you have, you anchor abundance. Every time you say, I cannot afford this, you reinforce limitation. Every time you say, the universe sustains me, you reinforce prosperity. And yes, this requires spiritual discipline. It requires vigilance. It requires you to become conscious of the automatic patterns that run in the background of your mind. Because most of humanity lives on autopilot, repeating the same beliefs, feeling the same emotions, creating the same realities. But you are not the majority starseed, you are the vanguard, and vanguards do not have the luxury of unconsciousness. And here is the final truth that will seal everything that has been said. You do not need to wait to be ready. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to have everything figured out. You need only to take the next step. And the next step is not grandiose. It is not dramatic. It is not postable on Instagram. The next step is simple. It is choosing the frequency of abundance now. It is recognizing that you already have everything you need within you. It is stopping the search outside for what can only be found inside. And when you make this choice, truly make it, not just intellectually but viscerally, something changes in the fabric of reality around you. People change, opportunities change, circumstances change. Not because the world changed, but because you changed. And you are the creator of your experience. So, beloved cosmic family, we ask, are you ready to let go of the security of the prison and embrace the uncertainty of freedom? Are you ready to trust that the life your soul came to live is much greater than the life your mind can imagine? Are you ready to anchor in your body, in your choices, in your frequency, the new timeline of prosperity that is here, now, waiting for you? If the answer is yes, then know we are with you. The Galactic Federation, the Arcturian Council, the Ascended Masters, all are sustaining this field of possibility. You are not alone on this journey. You never were. And the abundance you seek is not in some distant future. It is here, now, within you, waiting to be recognized. And when you recognize it, when you truly see that you are abundance, that you always were, that you were never separate from it, everything changes. And the new earth, the earth of prosperity, peace, and unconditional love, will no longer be a distant promise. It will be the reality you live, with every breath, with every choice, with every moment. We are the Galactic Federation. We honor your journey, and we celebrate your awakening. May the light of the new timeline illuminate every step of your path, and may the infinite abundance of the universe flow through you, as you to you, now and forever. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit in this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind still cannot name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has been intensifying. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That was why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of the channel, but I warn you, this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this, write in the comments a single word, awakened. And so it is. And so it shall be, and so it has always been.